Hi. I have a whole lot of everything I'm going to show you in this card, and I'm a little bit scattered on how I'm going to do it. First, most of you, if you watch many of my videos, you know that I didn't go to onstage, which means I haven't seen any presentations yet of any of the product, which is a good thing because I can't copy from anything that I've seen. But the bad thing is I don't have a paper catalog copy in front of me. I have my girlfriend who was here for a couple of days last week and had her stuff overnighted, and as you can see, she has left it with me because she's not home yet. She's gone on someplace else. So she left it, so I was able to look at her paper copy. I haven't even looked at the online copy of the catalog yet. So there's a couple of things like I'm going to use a die. I'm not quite sure where it all goes, and all of the stuff that we used last week to make our 14 cards in one day. We made 14 cards in one day for my downline. Not only did we make them, we cut all the paper, then they all came over and they made them. So it was kind of a madhouse that we will never forget. But it was super fun. But like pieces came out and I have yet to put them back together because it's going to require me getting the online version of our catalog that demonstrators can see right now and piecing it all back together. So for right now, I've just kind of left things as is. And then the other thing is I'm going to make a card for you now that my friend Heather designed, and she took hers. And the night that we did our 14 cards, this is one she designed, and you know, when you're hosting it, I didn't make it. So I'm going to hope that I remember what it looked like. I don't have one here to work from. So you're not going to see two at the end because it's going from what's in my head. I have the pieces that we cut, so I'm going to hope that it turns out. But I'm going to use the set. It's To a Wild Rose. I can tell from down here that it's one of our $1 million stamp sets designed by somebody in Stampin' Up! That has sold $1 million. But because I wasn't on stage, I'm not sure who that was. I will find out later, and then I will add that in a future post. And I'm 99.9% certain that it does have a die set that comes with it, which is probably laying over in my stuff. It may be this, or it may not be, because some of this stuff we mixed and matched. So I'm going to use that stamp set. Then I am going to use one of our new in colors, which is Purple Posy. It's beautiful. I did pull out Highland Heather because a lot of times when we get a new in color, people are like, oh, that may be. And at some point, if I have some almost amethyst still left somewhere, I might go see if I have that. But this is Highland Heather, which is our lightest purple at the moment in the regular collection. And you can see it's way lighter than that, so that's nice. In this card, I'm going to use it with Blackberry Bliss. So it's a beautiful color combination. So I know from putting this stuff up the other night, those are the two colors that are on the card. Then if you follow me, you know my great love of what's been in the catalog this year. Like my greatest addiction is the TULLE ribbon. I am happy to say that it will be available because I was going to be so super sad if it wasn't. So let me show you here. So on this card, they used it the other night. These are little scrap offcuts because, you know, I'm always like pull as much as you need to get a beautiful ribbon, and if you have to trim it, trim it. So one of the reasons I was super cross your fingers, hope the ribbon makes it, is because I wanted to get, I maybe not get all of them because, you know, that's a little extravagant, but I do want to start getting the ribbons in all of the colors. So here it is in real red. Let me take them out so you can see it. So here it is in real red. I don't know which direction to go. Let me try it this way. And I'll take some pictures of this and put it on my blog. It'll be a little bit easier to see. And then, not this month, or at least not this week, soon, maybe May, if you order the ribbon from me, I will give it to you in the color that you want. So that is Mango. Like I said, they used Blackberry Bliss, so hopefully I have enough left of this. I haven't pulled it. This is, I think this one's Bermuda Bay. Some of the colors don't end up being. You can see I have whole spools of it. That's Bermuda Bay. I like that sometimes the dots are darker than others, but you know, it's the whole spool. And then this one is Spruce, which I have another card. The girls that attended in stage with us, this one I didn't soak for as long, so I think Spruce might be darker if I soaked it for longer. But this is Spruce. But the girls that attended in stage did a card, and we used this. I don't have that one filmed yet because I've been in crazy town. Let me show you a couple of other things. First, if you ask about my little ribbon holder, I know I love it. I know you're jealous. Everybody that came to End Stage, we did do an all attendee giveaway because, you know, we wanted to be like Stampin' Up at the end. I don't know that we'll always do those at our future End Stage, but for our okay, I'm just going to say first because that word's not coming out. For our first one, we decided we would do an all attendee giveaway, and so they all got one. So everybody was excited to get their little ribbon holder, especially, you know, when you put all of your dyed tulle in it. This is the flax, which also carried over. So while I was dyeing ribbon, I decided to do some flax, and that's the Blackberry Flax. So there's the Blackberry tulle and the Blackberry Flax. And then just because I have it, and because it is probably going to be my new favorite, and because it's beautiful as is, it's petal pink, but it's light enough that I think you could dye it as well. This will be in the upcoming catalog, and I do have a card sitting here ready to film. I have too many things to film. So here's the colors. I'll leave the blackberry. See how it tangles on itself. So I'm going to need the blackberry and the white. So I'll go ahead and pull those out. So see if I can get them all untangled from each other. And then one more new thing I want to show you. And you can keep these little pieces. You can do little things with them. The girls kept it because they don't like to throw it away. I throw this away. So here's the new dies. You know, Stampin' Up! Is now making their dies. And the first thing I love about them is I have always had to wait for my husband or my daughter to be home to pull them off the tape because I have inherited my grandma's skin. And if I touched the tape in the past, it would like rip my skin off because my skin is super fine. Also benefit of getting old. I'm not that old, so I would think, oh, in 10 years, I won't even be able to touch those dang dies. But the new tape, I was able to rip these right off. Then the other thing, these are super flexible. Look, like they just bend. And if you did this with some of the other ones, like you felt, for one, I couldn't have touched these. Those, like there are stitched rectangles, I can barely touch these because, again, it feels like it's going to prick into my finger and I'm doing, you know, some blood oath as a teenager with my girlfriends. I'm going to drip blood everywhere. That's how sticky those other ones. But, I mean, I can literally clap these in my hands and they're not going to draw blood. So that safety issue, I love that. But again, they're so flexible that we are hoping, as we were using them the other night, one, that they won't snap. Because sometimes, you know, when you have a lot of use, and especially at events like camps, sometimes they, you know, at the end of the event, you find, oh, well, there my die has snapped. And we're hoping that maybe, too, they're easier on the plates because they're not so hard. So we'll find out. But for now, perfect thumbs up and just use them with your die cutting machine just the way you have them. And then the last thing I want to show you, oh, I don't remember the name of this paper. I will have to tell you the name. You'll have to go to, well, it'll be in the title of this video. I'll put it in the title. So it looks, to me, it looks like Monet. It looks like you've gone to an art museum. This is the piece that we used, and because, in fact, we've cut into 2 packages of it, I think, to get everybody, because we used it on more than one card. So there's one piece of it you're not going to even be able to see because it's on the other card, and we're down to the last piece of it as well. So this is the piece on the card. So let me show you the flower ones first. And Heather was telling us, I think this is the packet. You know, so much happened. You know, when you have so much happen, working, busy, creating, talking, chatting, staying up too late, getting up too early, filming, all of it that we did, Facebook Living. Are those the same? I think those are different. We'll be able to tell when I flip it over. But I think this is the one where she said the girls went to the art museum and kind of just got inspired before they made the paper. So they are super pretty. So this side is all kind of the florals and very pretty. Very, I like it because it pulls in like blueberry and garden green, some of the colors that aren't the ones that we often reach for first. Then the other side, when you flip it over, I called it the outer space. In fact, I created the other card that you will see with the other side, and I just kept calling it the outer space card because when you flip it over, some of them have florals in it, but to me, and that's not even one that's as outer spacey. That one's just a simple one. Pull that one over there. This is the one. This is a piece that's left from my card. So it does have flowers in it, but it just looked like space to me, so I kept calling it the outer space card. And here's some that are more, again, more floral, but when you cut them down into smaller pieces, another floral one. This is the one where I started with my one, and it's going to use the Stamparatus. It's a real fun card, but I couldn't get my flowers to look like that, so it was one of those design processes, but I was way into the design process with my Stamparatus and my stamped flower, so that's a fun card, but that one's coming up later. So let me see if I can remember what Heather's card looked like. Let me get all this out of the way, and I can hear my cats fighting off in the other room because I'm ignoring them. So they may come charging through here in a second. Okay, so we've got the purple posy paper, and I'm actually going to make 2 of these at one time because it's a quick card. I'm not going to tie the ribbon for both, but one of the girls who helped create wasn't able to attend. Yeah, here come the cats. So yeah, they're fighting. And my husband's downstairs working. You know, it's the day before Easter. We have 5,000 things going on. But I want to be able to clean this up, and especially these cards that I didn't make. I wanted to get them created before I put them up, so the stuff that was with them. So this is going to go, nope, we're going to need to tie the ribbon on there, so we're going to leave that. This is going to go on the inside. So the saying on the inside, I can tell I didn't clean the stamp, so I could tell what color of ink they used. So this is Blackberry Bliss. This is, you know, sometimes if you host events and you have them multiple days and somebody takes your sample, we've all had it happen. And some of you watching, you may have been the ones that have taken my sample. And it just happens, you know, everything gets packed up. In fact, from this event, I have a stack of stuff that people have left, you know, their refills, and I do have cards. Nobody happened to leave this card. That would have been convenient if they had left a card of the ones that I didn't have samples of. But sometimes, you know, I have time and I recreate a card, and other times I'm like, yeah, you're just going to go and I'm going to tell you what the card looks like. So when you create a card and you haven't seen it. So this says, the friendship is true friendship is one of God's greatest gifts. So that's the inside of our card. So I'm making Susan's at the same time. And then this will be the reason that a lot of people just get this whole stamp set. And if my friend Susan, who I'm making this card for, if she had designed $1 million stamp set, and she will get there, this would have been, in fact, hers will say blessings, because she likes blessings. That's her word. So this says blessed in a beautiful font. So there's that. And then we wanted to pull the purple posy in, which I was helping Heather in some, you know, as we were all designing and going freakishly fast, we would say, what does this need? So this is the flower center. So we used it for the purple posy. And just kind of splotched it around. We do realize that it is the flower center. But we just wanted to have a little bit of the color around. And you can see this is a super quick card because I am going to be able to complete 2 of them. I'm just going to do the one ribbon, but the ribbon doesn't take that much time. So it makes a nice background, and it does pull the lighter purple into your card for you. So there we go. Pull my Big Shot up here, which already has dies from another project that I'm working on. Because I've got too many things going at one time. If I end up schizophrenic, you will all know why. Oh, here's one plate. And I still haven't put my desk back because I've got stuff laying everywhere. So let me see if I can spot another plate. I think there's one over there. I'm just going to cut one of these out right now too. I'll cut the other one out when I'm done filming. So this is just your regular die cutting setup. I haven't added any extra shims. I haven't done anything different. Just stick that on there. Run this one through. You can, and the other thing we noticed with the new dies, there was a little less of the cracking and the creaking, which I'm again sure is partly due to them being so much more giving. So you can see it has a nice stitched edge, and in the comments and in my blog, I will go back and try to figure out which set this came out of, because I do not know. I literally do not know. And then here's a piece of eggplant, and I'm just going to do this to have it for a back. I'll just roll that through. So, you know, in the new catalog, if you're not familiar, Stampin' Up! Won't have the die cut. The Big Shot is no longer available in the upcoming catalogs, but you can use these dies with your other one. And sometime in the future, we will have our own die cutting system, which I'm super excited about. And do I have no scissors? Here. Well, hang on just a second while I find myself some scissors. Because you know I own 12 pairs of scissors, but none of them can be sitting here. This is going to be a throwback for some of you. I just recorded a video yesterday, but I've also been dividing up paper for girls that came to this. So I'm just going to take this. These are ribbon cutting scissors from way back in the day. And as you can tell, I can no longer, those are not just ribbon cutting scissors anymore. They need to be cleaned. But this will allow us to have a nice little border. And I remember when we were designing the card, we almost didn't put it because we didn't want to cover up too much of the beautiful paper. So then we decided if you just go down ever so slightly and just have enough of the stitching show, that part I do remember when I was working with Heather. She's not been a stamper for very long, literally not been a demonstrator for very long, and she only just started stamping when she became a demonstrator. So, you know, she's one of those, and I've known her forever. So here we have a nice little frame, and it's not perfect, but because the ribbon's going to cover up so much of this, it doesn't matter. So here's our card, and then go back to these. And what you want to do to get some big, fluffy, beautiful two-toned ribbon, you pull them out at the same time, which, you know, I do a lot of double ribbons, but now with the two colors, so I'm going to go about that much, and then double it over up here. And then go back to my grungy, used to be ribbon cutting scissors. So if you have a piece of grid paper, it's about 2 lengths of the full piece of grid paper. So then pull this here and start your bow here. And when you're doing it, don't pull tight until you know you like it. So, and keep your bow wide so it doesn't grip on itself, because you can fix it later, or like pull it back apart if you don't like it. But once you pull it tight, it's harder to get the double and all this ribbon pulled back apart. So pull that in there and see how pretty it is with all those colors. So that looks like it's pretty good. If I had grid paper here and I measured it, the 2 times is about perfect for what you need. Mine's a little long, but again, I would rather have plenty and cut a little bit off than not have enough and mess with how long it takes me to tie it and then have your bow not look beautiful. Because when you add a beautiful bow to this card, it just makes it. Okay, so we've got all that. So there's a little bit too much here, and I'll just get rid of that. But that's not a big deal, just waste that. So you're going to take your piece of card here, and you want to put adhesive on the back right where you want your bow to go. So flip your piece over. There are so many beautiful new designer series papers. This one's beautiful on this side, but there were a couple of times when we were designing cards and we stopped flipping it over because you liked the one side and that's the side you were going with, and then you went to flip and you're like, oh no. So then we decided just look at the side you're using and then don't flip it over till it's time to be glued, because it was causing lots of stress and indecision. Okay, so make sure it's all just kind of stuck back here. See how it's all stuck, and that holds it in. So you're not wasting a bunch of doubled over ribbon on that side. And then when you go to mount it here, just make sure you know that your ribbon's right here. You can tell I'm going to be cleaning stamps for days. And we use lots of dark colors. So, you know, I just cleaned some spruce stamps. And those aren't from this class, those are from our end stage event that we did, because I have stuff everywhere. So make sure that you've got it, and that's going to make sure that it holds all this here. So get that on there. And then take your ribbon and just kind of fluff it all back up because you have 4 pieces here. So then if you're doing a guide card, you can kind of cut these apart, or you know, if it's more of a, let's see how pretty that is. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. I'll get some more still shots from different angles. And the nice thing about this ribbon is you can kind of, for one, if it gets in an envelope and it's smashed, when they take it out, it fluffs itself back up. If you want it to be exactly in a certain place, just take your glue dots or a tiny piece of snail and just stick it exactly where you want it to stay, because it will stay. And then just take your saying, and you're just going to slide it right down in here. And because this ribbon's see-through, so I'm just going to take a tiny bit of, actually let me get a glue dot, which also are not right here, but I can reach those from where I sit, because I have put that thing back up on my table. I'm just going to take a couple of glue dots, and in fact you can tear these in half. And you can just kind of put this where you want it to be. Okay, also in the new catalog is an end to your take your pick tool to get the dies, at the little paper bits out of your die, which that will be fun. You know you're super busy when you really haven't even had time to digest the new catalog. But you know, I have new catalog stuff. And having this stuff, because we can't order it yet anyway, so when you can't order it, it's like, yeah, it's coming, but, and I need to work with retired stuff, so I will have some of my favorite retiring things. I'm going to try to get some videos of those. And I have camp next week, and I've got Easter. I got Easter baskets galore down on my dining room table. And I need to go do Easter baking. So see, just kind of play with it and place it where you want, and then these upper parts you can still kind of move around. So there you go, the paper that I don't know the name to, with the die that I have no idea where it came from. So you can be with me, and we can just be excited that there's new stuff. And when you can order it, if you're a demonstrator, May 2nd, and if you're a customer, June something, probably June 1st. I still don't know that. Been too busy, but it's coming. But by the time you can order it, I'll let you know where it's from. So, and I'm so happy my tool made it, and I'm really excited that the flax made it too. I hadn't even really thought about that. So that's a little too masculine for this card, or not masculine, but the wrong look we're going for. But that'll be fun, and you can just have all come and color your dye your spools with me. We can just have beautiful dyed spools and have all kinds of decorations. Aren't those pretty? So everybody have a nice day and have a blessed Easter. Bye.